Oxfam, one of Britain's biggest charities, is at the center of a sex scandal. Oxfam's deputy chief executive has resigned, and it stands to lose millions of dollars in government funding. That's after some of its senior staff allegedly used sex workers in Haiti after a devastating earthquake in 2010.
What those few privileged men in Haiti did was to betray the trust of our supporters, our donors, and to betray the thousands of hardworking Oxfam staff who put themselves out, risk their lives to do this work of saving people's lives, children's lives.
Oxfam says it looked into the allegations in 2011 and fired 4 of its staff. 3 others resigned before the investigation was completed. The charity says allegations that underage girls were paid for sex are unproven, and there's no evidence money donated to Oxfam was used.
It is clear it's a cover-up case. The fact that those folks were allowed to leave the country without any punishment, without even informing relevant Haitian authorities about that, it was a cover-up.
It's not the first time Oxfam has faced accusations of sexual misconduct. Similar allegations were made against Oxfam staff members in Chad more than a decade ago. And just last year, 120 employees from some of Britain's leading charities were accused of sexual abuse. 87 were from Oxfam. Founded more than 75 years ago, Oxfam is one of the biggest charities the British government assists financially to carry out humanitarian and economic development projects around the world. It was among several private and governmental aid groups that mobilized in Haiti after the 2010 earthquake hit the country, killing between 200 and 300,000 people and leaving millions homeless. But such relief efforts have long been tarnished by charges of misconduct, including reports of money being misspent and using misleading fundraising tactics. If Oxfam refuses to comply with a new British government review into the work of charities overseas, it could cost it millions of dollars in government cash.
If the moral leadership at the top of the organisation isn't there, then we cannot have you as a partner.
Around 45% of the $565 million the charity received last year came from governments, the European Commission and the United Nations. It received $44 million from the British government, and $150 million came from donations, and $125 million from sales in its shops. And while other major charities like Save the Children and the British Red Cross will also have to face scrutiny under this review, a break in its relations with the government would be a serious blow to Oxfam. And it could lead to many wondering whether the way that international aid is administered should change. Christine Pirovolakis, The Newsmakers.
Well, we invited Oxfam onto the show and they declined our request. But I'm now joined from London by Ambassador Bocchit Edmond. He's the Chargé d'Affaires at the Haitian Embassy in the UK. Let me ask you, were you shocked at these allegations that came out in the Times report? And they seem to be more than allegations because they've had a tremendous ripple.
Not only me, I was shocked, but the country was shocked because Oxfam is one of the well-respected NGOs in Haiti. So to find out that thing was happening, and unfortunately it was not reported to the law enforcement authorities, it's really a shame. And then there was that all those work to cover up what happened and to protect the guy who committed the crime and allow him to leave the country without any punishment, and later on gave him a letter of recommendation to go to work somewhere else. So it's a series of really events that's really unfortunate, and hopefully they will step up to the plate and then correct what needs to be corrected.
Yeah, they say they want to restore trust. How can they restore trust in your eyes?
The first step there are 2 first steps that have to be taken. The first one is they have to make a public apology to Haiti. And secondly, they will have to cooperate, as they promised to the British government, to cooperate with the Haitian authorities, the Haitian legal system, and so we can get access to all those files and then push those who committed those crimes to to take them to justice.
Do you think that it's as simple as them using aid money to frequent or use prostitutes, or that there might be something more to it, maybe a sort of element of coercion and dependency, where perhaps some Haitian women don't want to get involved in prostitution, and they've been sucked into this vortex and this dependency with the aid agency?
Yeah, possibly it's something different than that. My take on this could be two things. I believe, firstly, we might be dealing with a pedophile ring because we believe there were some underage girls involved. And secondly, the fact that those foreigners arrive in a very difficult moment after earthquake, and people are vulnerable. And certainly those young girls and young boys, they're going to be very easy target. And that's why we always recommend to those people, those organizations, whenever they are, recruiting those people, they need to find out, they need to have a deeper background check on them. Because after he left Oxfam, I believe he went to work for more than 2 other organizations. Mm-hmm. Therefore, there is a lack of screening of his past.
Right.
This is one of the things they need to correct now, is to have a deeper background search so they can really know who they are recruiting.
Right. Something that I didn't read in any of the media reports was that the suggestion that any of the girls were underage. So I just want to be absolutely certain. I know you're meeting them very soon, so I'm assuming you're going to bring this up with Oxfam. Is there enough evidence in what you've seen that there might be underage girls and that we might be dealing with a pedophile ring? Because that jumped out at me.
We might have it, I believe, because remember in the report there was some parties going on, sexual parties. Young girls were involved. But the first question I would ask, if someone tell me that there were no underage girls, but I will ask you, how do you know? Mm-hmm. Did you ask them for the IDs? You cannot know that, because right. What we are talking about now is this should not have happened, because right. You went to the country on a mission to help, not to sexually exploit young girls and young boys. That's what I would say.
And for Haitians who seem to be losing trust, I guess, in aid agencies, is Oxfam just kind of like the tip of the iceberg, because there've been all these multiple scandals over the years, right? So you have reconstruction money that doesn't reach Haitians. You have Haitians not trusting peacekeepers, whether it comes to sex crimes or getting cholera from them, right? So, for example, there's all these things. Are we in a situation where Haitians are losing trust in those who claim to want to help them?
Yes, it is unfortunate, but it seems to be we are heading to that path. But hopefully those organizations will do what they have to do in terms of taking responsibility for what happened, and in terms of reconstructing that trust, because it's really important. As I always said to them, whenever I meet them, as much as aid is important, is necessary, but aid cannot replace the respect and protection of human dignity. Even though you're coming to help, but those people you are coming to help, they also have rights. They have to be respected.
Very, very well put. Ambassador Bocchit, Edmond, I thank you very much for joining us on the Newsmakers.